Hello and welcome to another video. Today we're just gonna go ahead and color in this angel that I sketched out last week. So the first thing I did was just go ahead and add in the halo. I don't know why I did this. It's just an indicator for the halo because you don't even see me color the halo in this video. I guess in my mind I was just like, let's just establish where the halo goes right off the bat, just so I don't forget, I guess. I guess I did that just in case I started to draw the hair and then I was like, or I color the hair and then I was like, I forgot the halo and then I would have to start all over, which would suck. So, I think that's why I did that. And then, we're just gonna go and color the skin and the eyes in this video in actuality. That's why the video is kind of short today. It's just the skin and the eyes. Um, and yeah, I don't really have too much to say about the coloring of this piece. I mean, it goes about the same as every other coloring I do. Um, I don't hate the coloring for this one. I know I usually get a little bit negative about my art, but I don't really have any problems with this one. There's only like one thing I wish I had done is I just wish I had scooted her over a little bit so that way the halo could be more even around her head. As it is right now, it's just like going off of like the side of the page, which I don't really like. But other than that, yeah, I don't really have any problems with this piece. Um, I think the coloring turned out okay this time. The only thing I can complain about really, is the paper, which has nothing to do with my art. I just don't really like this paper. I bought this paper, as printer paper, so I could just print the sketches out on this. And I was trying to go for a paper that I had bought previously. It was like really thick printer paper. I can't remember what the brand was or where I bought it. And I'm like trying to get back to that paper, but I do have this whole entire stack that I need to use up of like, like 500 pieces of paper, however many come in like the usual printer sheet. So I have to use up this paper before I buy any new paper. But I'm kind of like, ooh, maybe I should just give this paper away to somebody else so I could buy that old paper that I had prior. Um, I just really like that paper. It felt more smooth to me. This paper has like texture on it. And I'm weird about textured paper. I don't like the way it feels on my skin. And also I don't like the way that the marker looks on textured paper. I feel like it looks kind of speckly. I'm not sure if you guys are able to see that through the video because the video is not as high definition as, as real life. Um, but I definitely noticed the speckles, and I don't like a speckled look for marker art personally. I prefer smooth kind of matte type thing. I try to blend with my coloring, obviously, but I don't know. I don't feel like this paper is great for blending, and also it's got weird speckling. I don't know, like a weird like fuzziness to it that I don't really like. But I already bought like a giant stack. And I'm not sure who would want like cards paper. It's cards paper, card stock like this because it is more of like a card stock, but it's actually kind of thin. Um, and I'm like, this paper is like so highly recommended. They're like, I read like a bunch of reviews. Um, I really like have to read a lot of reviews before I buy something or I get really bad buyer's regret. So I read a bunch of reviews and they're like, this works great for my pieces, for my cards that I make and for like my marker stuff. And I'm like, they can't all be paid reviews, right? Because there was like hundreds of them. Um, right? And so I'm like, that's not like they're lying. They obviously like it for their art, but I don't. I don't know about you guys, but as an artist, I'm really picky about paper, especially paper for my markers. And so, I want a smooth paper for my markers, and I don't remember the brand of that paper that I bought, and it's eating me up inside, and I really want to get rid of this paper, but I don't. This is not really a paper that you would use for like printing out documents because it's textured. So I really don't know what to do with it. I'm sorry if you don't like hearing about paper. If you're more like, oh, I want to hear about how you color and stuff. But I feel like paper is literally like one of the most important art supplies in like an artist's like whatever you call handbag or whatever. Like the paper is really gonna affect the way your art comes out and the way it looks. So I really think it's important. That's why for a long time I was working on a video that was focused on sketchbook papers, like different kind of sketchbook papers, specifically in terms of markers. I feel like maybe I should just remake that video. It would take me a long time, but Yeah, I just feel like it's hard to find stuff that's like specifically for markers. Well, it's not that it's hard, but like it's hard to know if you're gonna like the paper without testing it out, like in store. And I don't really go in store because if I go in store, I end up buying way more stuff than I need. And especially coping markers because I'm not trying to buy coping markers in the store. I'm trying to get them online because they're like $3 or $4 cheaper online. Um, but yeah, so I don't really go in store. So you can't test the paper if you're buying it online. And then you buy the paper and you're like, I don't really like this paper. And now I'm stuck with it because I already paid for it. It's not like I'm gonna send it back. You know what I mean? So I was thinking about doing this paper review. It would be like a really long video and it would have like examples. I can't use any of the old footage that I had. I just deleted it because it was taking up so much space on my phone. And I do record with my phone. And so I feel like I've gotta invest until I got a separate camera than my phone camera just because I don't really like having a bunch of like pictures and like videos saved on my phone. It takes up a lot of space and then I have to pay for like more space on my phone, which is not really what I'm into. Uh but I would be interested in redoing some stuff. I would just start using the only thing about the paper stuff is that companies can change their like paper formula and then I don't want to like recommend a sketchbook that I really liked in the past because they might have changed like the formulation of their paper and then you guys are stuck with like shitty paper and that would really suck because I did have like a sketchbook brand that I liked to buy from Michael's when I was still like going to Michael's to like buy things um that I really liked and then I bought one and I was like this paper is like completely different and I don't know if it was just a different batch or if they changed the formulation of their paper but it was really discouraging. um so yeah, I'm not sure because some of the sketchbooks I have are like years old at this point. I doubt that their paper is the same. um but it could be, I don't know. Some of these companies might even be like out of what's it called, out of print, like they might have gone out of business, you know what I mean? And then I'm like, oh, really, get the sketchbook, and then you guys are like, that sketchbook's been discontinued for the last 5 years, and that would be really embarrassing. So it would take me a lot of research to do that. You can let me know if you'd be interested in a video about just sketchbook paper. I would provide examples and then maybe show the way that the paper behaves because you can talk about the texture of the paper and the way it looks all day. But I feel like if you don't get a demonstration of how markers work on the paper, you're not really going to get an understanding, right? Because I could tell you that it bleeds, right? Like the ink really spreads out on the page. But if you don't see it, you're not gonna know how much it bleeds because there's a difference between a little bit of bleed and then a lot of bleed, like sucking up the marker and just going everywhere. You know what I mean? I don't know if you guys know what I mean. I don't know if you guys are marker artists or what. I'm assuming you must like markers because you watch my channel and all I do is markers and pen sketches. So moving away from the discussion of paper just for a little bit. We're getting towards the end of the video already. And then we're moving into the coloring of the eyes. I know I said I didn't really have anything to complain about in this drawing, but I feel like the coloring of the eyes is not as strong as I usually do. I don't know what it was, if I felt like I was being rushed or if my mind just blanked and I forgot how to draw eyes or the way that I color eyes, or maybe I just gotten used to drawing like the smaller eyes. Because the last two drawings I did, the eyes were more sort of closed or smaller. And so maybe I just forgot how to color in big ol' eyes. I'm not sure. So I'm not as satisfied with the eyes as I usually would be, but that's okay because it's gonna end up covered in white ink anyway. So it's not that big of a deal. And then I just go in and I shade in the eyes this time. I always shade in the eyes. I don't know why I say it like I don't always shade in the eyes. I do always shade in the eyes. But that's the end of the video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.